Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. If you've been watching my clips that I've been putting together, you know that I've been solving math problems. In the beginning, a month ago, so I put a few clips up for the SAT, but lately I've been solving math problems from GMAT, from this book for GMAT. If you're preparing for GMAT, if you're thinking about sitting for GMAT, and if you're preparing for it, as I've said before, there is no such thing as preparation for GMAT without having this book. This book has the real stuff. This book has the real questions. Don't buy any other books and waste your time. My logic is very simple. If I'm going to spend my time and my money to practice for the exam, why practice the fake thing? Why practice on the fake exam? These are the real exams. In this book, they have about 400 math problems, and I've been putting together clips on the YouTubes out of this book here. It's called GMAT Review, the official guide, 11th edition. In this particular clip that I'm in the process of putting together right now, I will not actually solve any math problems. This happens to be my 100th video that I will put on the YouTube, and to mark the occasion, I thought I would put together a small introduction to the GMAT itself. Nothing elaborate, nothing complicated, just a simple, brief introduction. Most of the stuff you already know. If you're preparing for GMAT, if you're thinking about GMAT, most of the stuff you probably already know. At least I hope you already know. It's just to remind you, it's just to refresh your memory as to what GMAT is all about. So here we go. By the way, if you wish to search for this particular video on the YouTube, the tag that you're going to use in the future is simply prep for GMAT dash and then intro, INTRO. Prep for GMAT hyphen and then intro. My website address, as you already know probably, is www.prepforgmat, hence prepforgmat here.com. Let me talk quickly about the GMAT itself. I have some bad news for you. And the bad news, this is the bad news for every one of us, because in this day and age, all of us, you and I and everybody else, we are all addicted to, we are all used to reaching for the calculators for the simplest little calculations. I have found myself many a times where I'm doing a simple calculation, simple addition, and instinctively, without even thinking about it, I reach for my calculators because we are addicted to it. Well, the bad news is that on GMAT, you cannot use calculators. The calculators are not allowed, as it says in the first part here. Calculators are not allowed, which is the biggest part. So when you're doing your preparation for GMAT and when you're sitting down solving problems after problems after problems, and you're reaching for calculator each time, that exercise is futile. You have to put it away, put it out of your sight, put it out of your reach when you're sitting down and exercising for GMAT. And in my clip, I show you how to solve these questions without the calculator, because the purpose of the exam is not to show the GMAT, the people who put together the exam. The people who put together the exams, they are called, that entity is referred to as GMAT. I said it so fast I wasn't sure if you caught it. GMAT I called it. That's what it is. It stands for Graduate Management Admission Council. It's a mouthful, I know. But those are the folks who put together the exam. If you have this book in front of you, look at the cover, look at the very bottom of it here. It's a very small print. It will tell you here, from the Graduate Management Admission Council. Those are the people who put together the GMAT. I forgot where I was going with it now. Anyway, if you're preparing for GMAT, don't use the calculator, because otherwise it will be an exercise in futility. Because in the real thing, you will not be able to use calculators. Anyway, they will give you 75 minutes. They will give you 75 minutes, and you are expected to solve in that 75 minutes 37 quantitative questions. They refer to these questions as quantitative questions. No, they are not math questions. We want to come across as sophisticated. So these folks who give you the exam, they refer to these questions as quantitative questions as opposed to just math questions. They come in two flavors. The quantitative questions come in two flavors. One is referred to as simple problem-solving questions. A problem-solving question is a typical question that you and I have used to seeing many a times in our lifetime. They are simple multiple-choice questions. You have a problem in front of you. You're given the 5 answer choices, and your job is to pick the one answer choice among the 5 that you see in front of you. These are multiple-choice questions, but the GMAT refers to these questions as problem-solving questions. So I've been using the same terminology, problem-solving. you're going to find approximately 22 of those on the exam. Sometimes 21, sometimes 23, but approximately 22 out of 37 total questions. So since you have 75 minutes and 37 questions, it gives you approximately 2 minutes for each of the questions. Anytime you find yourself using more than that amount of time, you're taking too long. You're taking too long. It doesn't matter whether you get the question right, but if it took you 10 minutes to get it right, it's not worth doing it. In that case scenario, the best thing to do is just pick one answer choice and just move on. You have to pick an answer choice because you cannot skip. Let me make a note here. You must answer choice, must answer each question in order to advance. To be able to go to the next questions. You cannot, in other words, you cannot, let me not abbreviate it here, let me write it out. You cannot one cannot skip a question. The bloody computer sitting in front of you there is waiting for you to click something. Until you click something, that bloody thing will be sitting there with the same question in the screen forever and ever. I was going to say until the cows come home, but some people in other parts of the world will not understand that expression. But anyway, you cannot skip. So if the question is giving you trouble, the best thing to do there is to pick one answer choice and just move on. And what I teach in my prep course, when I do prep course face-to-face private tutoring, what I teach there is that in the questions that give you trouble, in the hard questions that give you trouble, there are almost always, 99% of the times I can show you ways where even if you have no idea what the problem is all about, I can show you how to eliminate at least one or two answer choices. So you eliminate one or two obvious wrong answer choices, and that's a technique, that's a skill that you have to develop, that you have to learn. But after you have eliminated one or two answer choices and you don't know how to solve the problem, just pick one answer choice among the remaining answer choices and just move on with your life. But anyway, so there are 27 problem solving questions. In addition to the 22 problem solving questions In addition to the 22 problem solving questions approximately, you'll also find a second type of questions which is referred to as data sufficiency questions. Data sufficiency, where you're given two statements, statement 1, statement 2, and you're asked a question based on those two statements, and your job is to answer the question. Your job is not to actually figure out what they're asking there. Your job simply is to tell them, in order to answer that question, do I need the information from statement 1 by itself? Is the statement 1 by itself alone to answer that question, or can I answer this question by looking at second statement by itself? Or do I need the information from both of the statements together in order to answer the question that is being asked? Or the question that is being asked there cannot be answered even by using information that appears in both the statements together. So anyway, when I get to that, I will show you in great detail how to solve the problem solving questions, or the data sufficiency questions when I get to it, which I will in about a week or so. But that's about it. So let me give you a quick recapitulation. You cannot use calculators. You have 75 minutes to answer 37 questions, approximately 2 minutes per questions. Of the 37 questions that you see, there are going to be 22 problem solving questions. There are going to be 15 data sufficiency questions, and these questions are intermingled. Where should I put it so that you can see there? Let me put it here. The questions, these two questions, the problem solving questions and the data sufficiency questions are mixed. That's not. Are mixed. They are intermingled. They are not. In other words, you will not find separate data sufficiency questions and separate the problem solving questions. That will not appear. They are all mixed together. Anyway, so that was a brief overview of what GMAT is about. And starting from next video, I'm going to pick up from where I left off, which was problem number 81 of the problem solving, which you will find me in a very next video. Alright? Send me an email go to www.prepforgmat.com if you wish to buy my DVDs, which contain the solutions to math problems that I have put together. Or if you wish to hire my services to tutor you privately, face-to-face, one-to-one tutoring. I'm located in Connecticut, but I've been to many different places where people call me up and I go there, do the private tutoring there. Wherever you are, as long as you make it worth my while. Or as I sometimes facetiously say, as long as you make an offer that I cannot refuse. Anyway, I'll talk to you. I'll see you in the next clip. Okay? Thank you.